anyways, some of you may have no idea who I am. I do come from Planet Shakers, and it is an honor and a privilege to be able to be in the house of Planet Shakers and be under my pastors, my father, and in the faith, but my father-in-law as well, Pastor Russell and Pastor Sam Evans. I honor them with everything that I am, and it is a privilege to be able to be here tonight. But I didn't grow up like this, and my story wasn't always as kind of good as what it seems to be on the outside. I grew up in a family that was kind of crazy, and both my parents, when they were young, in and out of jail, involved with gangs and violence, and my brother's the same. And I grew up in a kind of an unconventional way, and a way really no teenager should ever grow up. I saw things that no kid should have ever saw. I experienced things that no kid should have ever seen or experienced. But I remember growing up, and from the age of 13 to about 18, I was heavily addicted to drugs. I hated high school. I did everything under the sun. I was broken. I was lost. I was torn. I was in pieces. And I remember getting invited to go to this Planet Boom youth camp when I was 18. I rocked up to the camp with my two cousins. In fact, my mum, she's crazy. Who's got a crazy mum? Some of you better put your hands down because your mum's here right now. I can say, yeah, my mum's crazy. Anyways, I had a crazy mum, and my mum was so crazy. You know, people had bus trips, and boom, we had buses to go into the campsite. My mum didn't let me go on the bus because she knew that I would have hopped off at one stop and just walked wherever I wanted to. So my mum drove me to camp. How embarrassing is that? But I'm glad she did. So she drove me to camp, and I remember coming to camp. I was high. I was hungover from the night before. Came with my two cousins. No desire to be there. No desire to meet with God. No desire. They had no idea who Jesus was. I hadn't experienced him. I'd heard about him. But there's a big difference and a massive difference between hearing and knowing. And so I remember being in this position, and it's the end of camp. I was up the back. Some of you heard my story, but I got to tell it again. But I was up the back, and I was with my two cousins, and I was really searching for a girlfriend. And there were many candidates. Many. I was talking to my two cousins. We'd get Snapchats. Anyone know what Snapchat is? It's kind of old, but anyways. I was getting Snapchats of different girls, and I'm, getting their, whatever it is, username, whatever. I'd go and ask them and stuff like that, but I was there for the wrong reasons. And anyways, the last session came out. I didn't listen to a word that anyone said the whole entire camp. I was rebellious. I was broken. I was lost. But in one moment, at the end of this camp, Pastor Andy, my old youth pastor, was standing on stage and preached whatever message. I don't even remember. But at the end of it, he said, if you are broken, if you are lost, if your heart is torn to pieces, and your heart is in the world and things of the world, I want you tonight to make a decision to turn your heart from those things, have it mended and restored, and turn it to Jesus. I said, you know what? I've got nothing to lose. So I remember in that moment, when he said, everybody close your eyes, bow your heads, I stood up to my feet. I made the decision. I walked down the front, 18, broken, lost, heavily addicted to drugs, family situations going on, broken family. I come to this moment, and I'd never experienced this in my whole entire life before. See, I'd gone through all the things. I've tried to search for the things in the world. I tried to search in drugs. I tried to search for peace in different substances. I tried to search for wholeness and love in relationships, but none of that worked. And in a moment, I felt like liquid fall from my eyes. See, I was a gangster. And gangsters don't cry. Real ones anyways. I was a fake one. I had these tears, and I was like, why is my face leaking? I'm crying down the front. My hands are lifted. the first time in my life, I had my hands here. And I felt in my palms, I can even feel it right now. I felt in my palms as I lifted my hands, I felt fire. Like it started to heat up. And I'm like, am I tweaking right now? What the heck is going on? Electricity, like volts shooting through my body. Fire in my hands. I'm like, I'm definitely tweaking right now. Whatever I took the other night, dang, that was crazy. My hands are lifted. And I felt the fire of God in my hands for the first time. I didn't know what it was. And I felt God speak to me. I'd never heard the voice of God. But it was like this feeling. And God spoke to me and He said, see that guy on stage? This is what you're going to do for the rest of your life. You're going to help people like yourself. You're going to help young people, older people, and everyone in between. And then He said, do Bible college. I didn't listen to that part because I thought that was the devil. I dropped out of high school in year 10. I like to say I graduated early, but that doesn't really make sense because, yeah, anyways, makes me feel better about myself. But now in that moment, something crazy happened when I felt what I felt and I experienced what I experienced, and He restored me and He changed me. See, from that moment on, I wasn't bound anymore. I wasn't chained up anymore. I didn't carry depression. I didn't carry brokenness. I didn't carry my pain or my trauma or my past. I didn't carry any of that anymore. See, what happened was Jesus set me free, but there was a reason that He set me free. See, what I discovered was, we're going to get to my message in a second, but it's important that you know this, because some of you will look at me funny and be like, whoa, you're a little bit crazy, but you got to know what I came from. You got to know what God took me out of. I realized in that moment that I wasn't designed to carry those things anymore. I wasn't actually designed or made to carry depression. I wasn't designed or made to carry brokenness. I wasn't designed or made to carry fear or doubt or anxiety. I wasn't designed to carry. I realized in that moment what I was designed to carry. Can I tell you? See, in you and I, there's this thing that God has designed us to do. It's to carry things. I'll give you a verse in a second, but I realized from that moment on, I wasn't designed to carry those things. I wasn't designed to carry my past. I wasn't designed to carry fear. I wasn't designed to carry the lies of the enemy. I wasn't designed to carry any of that. I was designed to carry the presence of God. I was designed to carry the power of God. I was designed to carry the love, joy, peace, and power that He has for me. See, everything changed from that moment on. What happened was, the things that I wanted to used to carry, the things that I used to hold on to, the things that I used to want to do, all of a sudden changed. And all of a sudden, my desires changed. Every Wednesday morning we had a prayer meeting at Planet Shakers. There was no way in heaven, maybe in heaven, but hell, there was no way there, that an 18-year-old me would wake up, let alone wake up at 6 a.m. to go to a prayer meeting, let alone go to church and pray. There was no way. So my desires changed. And all of a sudden, the things that I used to want to do, I no longer wanted to do. The things that I used to carry, I no longer carried. And it was crazy, but it was that moment I realized, when the Bible says this in 2 Corinthians 4 verse 7 in the New Living Translation, powerful. We now have this light shining in our hearts, but we ourselves are like fragile clay jars. Anybody like that? containing this great treasure. This makes it clear that our great power is from God and not from ourselves. In other words, you and I were designed to carry treasure. You and I were designed not to carry the things of the world or the things of what we're going through or our circumstances. Like people say, I wear my heart on our sleeve. Yes, but we carry treasure. See, we weren't designed to carry anything else but other than what the Word of God says, and that's treasure. Every one of you were designed, every one of you were made up to design to be able to carry this treasure into the world. I love a man named David. Anyone love David? He was a carrier. In this verse in 2 Samuel 6, verse 10 to 15, amazing verse of a man carrying the presence of God. It says, so David decided not to move the ark of the Lord into the city of David. Instead, he took it to the house of Obed-Edom of Gath. The ark of the Lord remained there in Obed-Edom's house for 3 months. Everyone say 3 months. And the Lord blessed Obed-Edom and his entire household. Then King David was told, the Lord has blessed Obed-Edom's household and everything he has because of the ark of God. See, the ark of God was this big gold thing that they used to carry around that represented the presence of God. I'm glad I don't have to carry that thing around because I carry it here. They used to carry this thing around, and so David heard about it. So David went there and brought the ark of God from the house of Obed-Edom to the city of David with a great celebration. After the men who were carrying the ark of the Lord had gone 6 steps, everyone say 6 steps. Say it louder, 6 steps. David sacrificed a bull and a fattened calf. Yum. And David danced before the Lord with all his might, wearing a priestly garment. So David and all the people of Israel brought up the ark of the Lord with shouts of joy and the blowing of ram's horns. Why am I telling you this story? Because there's a man who understands what he needs to carry. See, what happened is David dropped off the ark of the Lord because one of his friends tried to peek in. Back in those days, you couldn't even get close to the presence of God. It was that kind of wow. That kind of like awe. Or as kids say these days, aura. Weird. But his friends touched it. They tried to look inside. He died immediately. David was distressed. So he drops the presence of God off at Obed-Edom's house. He says, you have it. I can't. I've got my friend just died. I can't deal with this right now. And David hears, wow, everything in Obed-Edom's house is blessed. Everything that walks by it. Everyone that walks in it and out of it. I think that sounds kind of like Nova Church. See, but sometimes, what happens in life is different moments. We get like David too. We get disappointed. We get disheartened. Or this person got that. Or been in church for so long and they got a girlfriend before I did. They got a boyfriend before I did. We carry these disappointments around and all of a sudden we've replaced what we were designed to carry for all this other stuff. See, if Adelaide is going to see a revival, we need to carry the presence of God with us. They don't need more fear. Our universities don't need more fear. They don't need more hopelessness. They don't need more negative talk. They don't need more gossip. They don't need more lies or whatever it is. They don't need any of that. What they need is the presence of God. See, David understood, and we need to understand that the presence of God is all that we need. He He needed it so bad that he went back to get the thing that he dropped off, to pick it up again, to walk with it again. And every 6 steps that he walked, he praised the Lord. See, it was his passion, his desire. That's why I said God is looking for people that are hungry. See, what's crazy about this, I've shared this illustration so many times. What's crazy about this is that the distance between Obed-Edom's house to the city of David was, I calculated it because I'm really good with maths, even though I finished in year 10. I'm a numbers guy. You can ask me any equation, and I'm like a calculator. I carry that over to there, bring that under, times that by 5, and there it is. I'm him with maths. I'm just trying to speak life over myself anyways. That encouraged me, but I calculated it, and from that amount of distance from Obed-Edom's house all the way over to the city of David, that's about 10 kilometers. Now, if I'm not wrong, Bible says that every 6 steps that they went, they praised. They sacrificed a bull and a fattened calf. They would have been fat by the time they got to the, you know what I'm saying? 10 kilometers. Every 6 steps. I got to do the maths on that in my head. So I'm not doing it on my phone. You're not looking at this happen right now. I'm just looking on here because, where is it? Where is my notes here? It's about, carry that over, get that under, carry that, because I carry the presence of God. I carry that over there. See, that's how quick I am with maths. It's just there, right there. They praised about 1,666/7 times. I don't like to say 666 because of obvious reasons, so 667, why not? That's insane! That these people decided, I'm gonna carry this. That every 6 steps that I go, I'm gonna give God praise. Imagine our universities, our high schools, our workplaces, that every 6 minutes that you spend in that place, you randomly break out a praise break. I can just imagine in class, some of you put a timer on, boom. Gets to 6 minutes, boom, yeah! Do that if you want, but don't tell anyone that you got that from me. See, they praised because they knew what they were carrying. You're a child of God, designed by Him not to carry any other thing other than treasure. You were designed, created for a great purpose. There's only one you in the world. So don't try to be anyone else. Don't try to carry anything else. Don't try to carry what you weren't meant to carry. See, I'm a husband. I'm a dad. And so as what happens in just like, I don't know, just what happens. But when you become a dad, you become really strong. It's called dad strength or old man strength, but except anyways. Is that a fact? I think it's a fact. People get when you become a dad, it's like you become stronger. Anyways, I become big. Anyways, my bad. But there's one thing that I love doing. Not for anyone else, I promise, literally just for myself and to test my abilities. But every time that we go grocery shopping, my wife walks into the grocery store. I don't. I hate that place. Because we go in for one thing and we come out with 20 things. Anyways, I won't go there. Sorry. All the wives are looking at me. It's okay. I'm not trying to offend you. Anyways. But I don't go in just because I can save my time and my muscles and my energy. But when we get home, there's a trip that has to happen from my car to my kitchen bench. And as a man, as his dad now, as the man of the house, I take it upon myself as a responsibility, a mantle, if you will. And I grab as many shopping bags it's like a scoop. Whoop. It's actually a skill. You have to be built different to do this. Anyways, as many as I can. I take it upon myself. I'm not doing 2 trips. There's only room for 1 trip. So what I do, I grab every shopping bag, even if my pinky finger's about to rip off. And I carry those things all the way back to my kitchen bench, and my wife doesn't take 1 look at me. But it's not for her, it's for me. It's a mantle, so anyways. See, the thing about carrying things, sometimes it gets hard to do on your own. That's why God has brought us here as a family, to carry each other. When one brother or sister's down, when they've lost something, a death in a family, or they're going through a hard financial place, or whatever it is, a place or a valley, you're there to pick them up and carry them with you to the mountaintop. This is the importance of being a family. We carry each other when things aren't going well. We carry each other when things are going well as well. See, you and I were designed to carry. But also you and I, just like this verse says in 2 Corinthians 4:7, you and I are like fragile clay jars put together by God, designed to carry treasure. But what I've discovered in life is that every time the devil, because he's real, every time a challenge comes, see, what happens is when moves of God happen, when you get imparted to, when you encounter God, every single time the enemy tries to steal the seed that was planted there. So don't be alarmed or be like, wow, shocked that the devil is going to try to do something to you. Don't be scared either, because greater who's in me than who's in the world. But anyway. But see, every time a challenge comes, even though we were designed to carry things, I didn't even know what's in this bag. There's a nappy in here. It's not a used one, but anyway. Even though we were designed to carry treasure, disappointment happens. Oh, let me carry that. We go through a challenge in our lives, and we feel like things aren't going well, or finances are getting attacked, or whatever it is, and then, oh, let me carry that. Then something bad happens, and then now all of a sudden you're fearful of something bad happening again, and so all of a sudden I'm carrying fear. And then all of a sudden you're going to university, or you're going to high school, and you don't get the marks that you wanted, and then all of a sudden disappointment creeps in, and lies creep in, and then self-worth and doubting who we are and God creeps in. And before you know it, you're carrying trash instead of treasure. See, we were designed to carry things, but we weren't designed to carry this. This is what I love about God, because He can move in great miracles and power, but God can also move in the depths and the deepest parts of your heart. See, you might be carrying things that no one else can see, and you walk around like this. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, no one can see what I'm carrying. Yes, but God can see it. See, some of us have had childhoods like mine. Some of us haven't had childhoods like mine. But when I was young, the first time I saw my dad abuse my mom, what I was designed to carry, it went in my bag. So I carried that, those memories. The first time that I was rejected by my dad and my mom and my brothers, I carried that rejection. The first time I saw my mom and dad fight, and then I saw my brothers do things to my dad and beat up my dad, I started to carry things. And see, all throughout our entire life, we pick up, we hold on to, we carry different things through different experiences. But then when I made that decision, and I came down to the front here, and I lifted my hands, it was like all the things that I carried in life, all the things that I held on to, it was like an encounter with God, and all of a sudden, all the things that I wasn't designed to carry, which is nappies apparently, and a paintbrush. Interesting. Well, there you go. All the things trying to stick to me. Get off me, sin. Get out of here. All the things that I were carrying, I gave it to God. I'm not saying your life and what you carry is like going to be in a rubbish bag, but you get what I mean. See, what I love about God is that He points out different things, and I can see Him pointing out different things. See, some of us are carrying fear. Some of us are carrying doubt, anxiety. What does my future hold? What am I going to do after uni? What am I going to do after high school? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? See, we're carrying things that we weren't designed to carry. My question to you tonight is, what are you carrying? What are you holding on to? What has gotten in to your heart? See, once we deal with these things, the trash, then the power comes. And His glory comes. And that's where heaven has been open this whole entire service. And once your heart is emptied, it can be filled to overflow with the power, with the outpouring of the Spirit, with His goodness, with His mercy, with His grace. Oh, we thank You for Your outpouring, Jesus. What are you carrying? Let's look at what David carried. He carried praise. He carried joy. He carried hunger. He carried peace. He carried the presence of God with him. I think our world needs a bunch of people that are going to carry His presence and change the world. So right now, I want us to just stand to our feet all across this place.